Baby, listen, listen. This is getting ready to turn very, very ugly. Very ugly. I think Mama Dupree wasn't prepared for what's getting ready to go down. As a matter of fact, I know she wasn't prepared. You could see it all over her face. And that whole little thing with Miss June, yeah, yeah, I got a lot to say about that. Somebody on the writers team really did their research. Let's go beyond the gates. Hey guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Listen, hey Julia, good evening. Yes, baby. Listen, when I tell you that Leslie is getting ready to have, y'all know she's my fave. Y'all know she's my fave. Y'all know I loves me some Mama Dupree. But when I tell you Anita is getting ready to be in a chokehold, messing around with Leslie, because see, Leslie knew, she knew that the funding was coming from I was going to call them the Marvelettes, the Articulettes. She knew something about that funding was actually had something to do with the Articulettes. And I think she just believed that it was like royalties and that kind of thing. But I don't think she knew that it was a trust that was literally coming directly out of Anita's pocket. And that ain't Articulate money. Because Articulate money ain't that deep. It don't run that deep. That is money from when Mama had her solo career. She had her solo career. Those funds were up there. They were up there. That's not. We talking just like, well, I don't know if that's actually it. Well, yeah, we could use that. Supreme's money versus Diana Ross money. Because yes, the Supremes made good money, but Diana Ross money, that's a whole different pot of money. And I now with this whole meetup, I think now she just got thrown off her square and she done shared too much. And Leslie get ready to have her in one old nasty chokehold, a nasty piece of chokehold. And the bad thing, ain't a damn thing she could do about it. Because once you put money in a trust, you can't get it back out. You can't stop it. You can't. It is what it is. It is what it is. You can't get it back. You can't get it back. So I know a couple angles that they could actually take to get her, but she actually got money now to fight. She actually got money to fight. Ain't that a bitch? Fighting your own money. We're going to get all into it. We're going to get all into it. But I'm going to say this. As much as I like Mama, but Mama, you admitted to that you did that had to do with old girl, with Barbara. You admitted to what you had done wrong, and you really had done Barbara wrong. And I think that up to this point, you kind of fought them few tears that you shed, them couple little battles where the girls beat you up a little bit and you wallowed in your tears a little bit, that karma was pretty much done with you. No. The turnaround was good for you. The turnaround was good for your soul. But karma is a black ball-headed bitch, and she was not done with you yet. This is the karma. The whole thing where she's saying she basically blamed herself for Barbara offing herself. Now that's going a little far, but the articulates and them being stifled, that really was all on Mama. You made decisions. You snaked the girls. You did. You snaked the girls. You would have gotten where you were going to get anyway because it was in the universe for you to be a star. But the truth of the matter is, as much as I like you, you snaked the girls and you backstabbed them and you went on, you became a big star and all of that. And I promise you, I knew it when it was going on. I said, baby, them few tears that you dropping are not karma. The price that karma brings is always much deeper, much deeper. Karma, self-awareness will bend you over. Karma will bring you to your knees. Do you understand? James, what angle you think they can go with that situation? Not that situation so much, Renee, but other things. See, we ain't done. That child committed, she committed crimes. She has literally committed crimes. And they basically just ain't kind of pushing toward it at this present time. But once the Duprees get mad, shit just starts to pop up. And the truth of the matter is she actually did the stuff. She literally tried on more than one occasion to murder that girl that was the assistant to Nicole. You did that. You did that. So if they really see, because the Duprees didn't really get behind it, not the top ones, Mama and Papa, they didn't really get behind that. They kind of let, thank y'all, they kind of let things be as it was, and they ain't really go there. They were so busy dealing with Danny and her craziness. Then they rolled right into Nicole's, and they had not zoomed in. Laura, yeah, that's her name, Laura. They hadn't zoomed in on that little situation. But it's nothing for them when they feel the need for speed. Oh, they can zoom right back in on that situation. And I promise you, they're going to zoom in on something to get her up off of Mama's back. They're not going to let her ride Mama's back like that, because she in there, and she came in there hot. She rolled in hot, and she really didn't have nothing until she got in there. Now she done found out that she got something. That last line of the episode, and we're on season 1, episode 115. Sorry, y'all. We're on episode 115. She, when she said, "What are you so upset about, Anita?" You see, she just started calling her Anita. I said, "Oh, girl, you just disrespectful. What are you so upset about, Anita? You act like it's coming out of your pocket." And she said, "Yeah, it is." I said, "Oh, no. You weren't supposed to tell her that. I know you was worked in your spirit. They didn't got you. You didn't got on the phone." You see how fast she got on the phone and found out about them doggone DNA results and all of that. Now, now, HIPAA and all of that stuff, where you just call. But there are people, now, and you'd be a fool to think that there aren't people that you could just pick up the phone and find out things that you want to know, especially if you're somebody with influence. You can find out what you want, and them people be in place for you. They'll break HIPAA and everything else. But you see how fast she was on the phone with somebody getting those results. So if they want something on old girl, if they want to push a narrative and get up under a narrative, they can get it. They can get it. Is Peaches dying, or is she running? Wait a minute. Is Peaches dying, or is she running a con to get some of Leslie's money? Will Peaches get payback for Leslie stealing her man? I don't know, but I made comments about it in yesterday's video about the fact that Peaches don't give me, and I think I went more of the angle that it was just the bad acting. Peaches don't look like nobody that's terminally ill. Peaches just look like somebody who got a role in just her acting, and the costume and stuff is bad. But she doesn't appear to be terminally ill. She all down there, she's grinning at Timu Ted and carrying on down to the bar. So ain't no telling. That would be a nice twist. The lawyer handling the trust got the DNA results. No HIPAA involved. But it won't make a difference if they need HIPAA. be involved, they'll do it. Look, Ashley done broke HIPAA. She can play any game she wants. Ashley broke HIPAA, and she does it constantly. She does it constantly with her goofy self. I'm pretty sure blood test is required to claim the inheritance. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I'm sure. But it was just a whole bunch of mess. Just a whole bunch of mess. My point was they could get what they want. The Duprees run the town. They can get what they want. They got cops in their pocket. They own a piece of the hospital. They can get what they want. They can get what they want. The actress playing Peaches is younger than Leslie. Yeah. I mean, that was a bad casting to me. That was a bad casting to me. She wasn't having a drink. Well, I mean, if you already know you get ready to go up out of here, you might as well. Why I got to drink orange juice if I know I'm leaving up out of here, honey? Give me some old Grand Marnier, honey, if I know I'm leaving anyway. I'm so disappointed they don't use Shanice right. Not yet. They're going to get to it. They will get to it. Ashley needs to be fired and banished from the hospital. She's a busybody. But don't every hospital got one or two? There's always a CNA or somebody that be running the floor that everybody can't stand, that be just doing the absolute most. Just like you always have a Shanice down there to the hospital that be the supervisor and be doing everything and nothing. So anyway, so that's just a whole mess. The way that I might as well finish up Leslie and Mama's situation while I'm here before I go over here and talk about June and these kids. The way that Leslie, she was over there, they stretched that out too much. They was giving me too much with her and Eva. I was like, Chuck, get on. She really did lead Eva to believe that she wasn't going to go really create no problems, that she just going over to talk and basically gloat a little bit, but just to talk. But when she got there, baby, she was absolutely nasty. Absolutely nasty. And she came in there cutting and swinging on Mama. She really did. And I was like, okay. I wonder if Vernon would have stayed, how that would have went. If Vernon didn't have that meeting, how would that conversation have actually went? It probably wouldn't have got as far because he probably would have been interrupting and giving one of his long Papa Pope speeches. Child, we don't want to hear that. We want to see the fight. Anyway, how did Leslie get Anita's phone number? Child, listen, she steals out of her daughter's phone. Her and her daughter just violate each other constantly. Said, that don't really surprise me. Because look how now they don't trust each other, right? And that was another thing I caught. They don't trust each other, but they literally be leaving each other at each other's apartments. And she all in her mother's drawers and all that. I said, these two are ridiculous. And I just can't wait, because as soon as that money get into a place where she could actually access it, she going to turn on Eva. I can't wait. Eva gonna be trying to be sad, and I think Eva gonna mess around and be on the outs, just like Ted's on the outs, because Ted is pretty much on the outs. Eva gonna be right over there with her dad. Her and Daddy gonna be sitting by the lawn. Now they're not allowed to get on the grass. So that's just gonna be that. Period. But it's a whole mess. But I really do feel like the whole thing with Leslie, that's Mama's karma. Just gonna have to see how Mama come up out of it. She will. She actually will. She will. I'm ready to see a cat fight. Well, you ain't gonna see no cat fight with Leslie and Mama Dupree. That's really too much. There's too much of an age gap. She got two daughters for that. Now you might see a little something where her and listen, Nicole done already choked her out. So Nicole done already went up in her neck, honey. So yeah, them girls be the jump they're playing with their mother. Can we get Vernon and Martin some new outfits? You know what, Volvo? I ain't messing with you tonight. I'm not messing with you tonight. Speaking of, let's jump over there so we can get on out of here, because I ain't gonna keep y'all long. James, someone getting smacked tomorrow according to previews. Hey, I ain't gonna say that my mom won't smack Leslie, but Leslie not get ready to rumble with. We ain't having that. I don't see. I don't see them writing that into the script just because of who it is, who we are, and what the show said. I don't see them writing that into the script where Leslie have no real knockdown drag out with no elder. I just don't see that. I don't think they would do that. Now, I ain't gonna say that my mom won't slap her face, but to see her actually jump on this older woman, nah, I don't see that. Now, she might have her kidnapped, might knock her out, but literally see her like spar up with her and go toe to toe, that ain't cute. That ain't cute. So yeah, no. But I ain't gonna say that my mom won't take and slap her. No, because she deserves it. She's really talking a lot of shit. So and an old girl will pop you, honey. But I don't see the younger woman because Leslie, I don't know. I just don't see that. I don't see that. Maybe on nighttime, on a nighttime soap, she slapped mama's dentures loose, but not on here. Not on here. I don't see them doing that. Let's go over here to this house with these people. Now I'm gonna have to say, I'm irritated. I am very irritated with Smitty and Martin. And I'm irritated with them because of the way that they're acting. The way they're acting. And that's real. What they're doing is real life. That's real. There's people who really do get like that, who are foster parents and who are adoptive parents. They really get like that. They get all in their feelings. And I said it yesterday and I'll say it again. They wrong. They wrong. Stop it. Stop it. That whole competing for the kid thing, it's just, that ain't cute to me. That's ugly. That's ugly. I'm going to say it again, but I ain't going to harp on it. When you're an adoptive parent or you're a foster parent, you're not in competition with the parents. And if you are, you're wrong. You're not their parent. You're not their biological. You're their adoptive parent, or you're their foster parent, or their legal parent. You're not their biological parent. There's no need to try to compete with their biological parent because you just look foolish. You look foolish, and it's a battle that you cannot win. You cannot replace their biological parent. Sit your ass down. And you look crazy. I hate it. I hate their stance. I really do. I hate their stance because they look weak. They look weak. Y'all supposed to be this power couple. Y'all got all the money. You got all the things. You got everything says that you're that dude. And here comes this woman who is homeless. Who is homeless. And you're trying to fight a battle with her that it don't make a difference what you got in the bank. It doesn't matter what your address is. It does not matter what you've done up to this point. You cannot win that battle with her. She is their biological mother. Sit your asses down. So I don't like the whole trying to block. I don't like it. It just irritates me, but that's my own personal thing. It irritates the hell out of me because they really would like to tell the two, we ain't letting her get up in here. Whatever. And then Tyrell basically really has been overriding Samantha. Samantha wanted to know what their mother's side of the story is. She wanted to, she has feelings for her mother. They're there. You can see him. Tyrell is just angry. He's angry. Now he did, okay, I gotta get into it, but they got to it when we first started, and they're like, the kids basically decided that they are done. They don't want any further visitation with June. I didn't like it because the truth of the matter was y'all influenced them. They were looking at you two and y'all's reactions And they did what they felt like they needed to do because their family is already falling apart. We got you two suckers up here fighting, and one of them is kicked out the house and all that. They got all that going on. Then here comes June. They're trying to piece back their normal. So they really, I feel like y'all were influencing them. And Tyrell, Tyrell is kind of shady. Because Tyrell sided with Smitty to keep Martin out of the house. So Tyrell a little crazy. He a little crazy. I said Sean plays, and he's angry. He's angry. And he's not, he's different. He's a little different. He got some ground to cover. He do. He's a lot like Jude. She said it later on in the program. You get this from me, you get that from me. She ain't lying. She ain't lying. All his little broken pieces belong to his mama. All his little broken pieces belong to his mama. So I said, okay. But anyway, so Naomi goes to give that information to June. June snaps off on Naomi. I said, y'all, they did their homework. With all of this, perfect. All of this, perfect. All of it. And the truth of the matter is, yeah, you are at fault. Because you wouldn't leave shit alone. That lady, how many times did that lady ask for Naomi to stay out of her damn business? Now, let's just be real. From the beginning, how many times did June ask Naomi to stay out of her business? And Naomi did dig in her business, till she literally has turned her world topsy-turvy. Got the sister back involved. Now the sister's all involved. And that ain't over. There's a little quick fix and a little Band-Aid on it. But with all of this new stuff, old June get ready to spiral out of control again. And guess who's going to be stuck to deal with June? Not Naomi. Naomi could go back home with Jacob. Her sister is going to be right back mixed up with the bullshit that is June. Let's see. J Love said, I disagree. My bio mom could never ease in. Once I knew what a stable house and mine was, I ain't going back. And I'm not going to argue that, J Love. I'm not going to argue that. I won't argue that. I don't feel like I don't think it's a weasel in thing, though. Like, why do you have to ease in? I feel like they just want them to just not acknowledge her. Like, they want them to act like it never happened. They liked it better when she just didn't exist. That's what I'm talking about. But, once they know that they exist, that world doesn't exist, that they don't exist. When the kids are aware of it and that there is an access to them, generally they want to know. And of course, there's, nothing is 100%. Nothing is 100%. And the kids never said they want to leave. They want to leave to go with her or anything. But I think they're trying to avoid it because they're afraid that the kids are going to want to do that. And I think that's what their whole point is. And that's what's irritating me. That shows insecurity on their part. It is what it is. It is what it is. Whatever the kids want, if it's the best thing for them, you just got to kind of play along. But going with June ain't even an option for them. It's not even an option. She even got nowhere to take them, or anything like that. She's not in a position, but they literally want them, I think, not to even acknowledge her. They don't want to see her no more and all that. I'm like, what? But okay, whatever. So here's where it flipped over. You say, should Martin and Smitty have said something more to Naomi about opening the closed adoption? Well, that's what they got rid of that, Melrose. They don't even have to have a conversation because the kids said, no, we don't want to see her no more. So that ain't even a conversation. That's not even a conversation. I believe with time they will embrace June. Absolutely, Renee. Absolutely. Unless, I don't know, because June is a little off. So maybe not. She's a newly rehabbed drug addict. I would be apprehensive as well. Absolutely. Absolutely. And is she really rehabbed? How long? It ain't been that long. And the thing is, I was just getting to that, El Michelle. This is one of those things, and I'm gonna do some little personal stuff here. When I adopted, I was shocked. Shocked at a lot of different things and how Pennsylvania does stuff when it comes to adoptions. But one of the most shocking things for me is when they told me that they really prefer that there be no contact with the biological parent. And I had a whole 30, 40-minute conversation with these people. So, are you crazy? Are you crazy? You're asking me to not let my cousin, my first cousin, have access to her children. Are you a nut? You've got to be crazy. But that is one of the most shocking things that ever happened during my journey with adoption. That you would want, once they're adopted, you want the pet. It's not a good idea. Why ain't it a good idea? Are you crazy? That just never sat right with me. It never sounded good to me. I got it. I understand what they were talking about. And down the line, yeah. But real life is real life. That is not my call. If their parents are open and willing, those kids should know their parent. They should know their parent. If they ain't bringing no drama, what is the problem? And you'll lose in the end. You'll lose in the end. Because one of the worst things in the world is for somebody to come back and tell you later, you kept my parent away from me. How do you even answer that? You kept my parent away from me, if that's what you actually did. If there wasn't an actual reason, because the adoption people said they didn't think it was a good idea. If you don't get the hell on out of here. And the funny part, Xavier, let me put this up here. It says the adoption system needs major reform. Here's the funny part. When you start in to foster care is never in the foster care. The low man on the totem pole is the foster parent. Reunification is the goal. Reunification is always the goal until it literally gets as far down as you can get and you just can't go no further, and then it turns over to adoption. But reunification is always the goal. So how does it come from reunification to now we don't think it's a good idea if you even let the parents see them? That don't make any sense. It literally doesn't make any sense. But that's the system, and that is one of the flaws in the system. And I'm not just talking out of my ass. I got 2 adoptions. I know what I'm talking about. I sat with that. My kids are grown now. I've sat through that. I've been through the adoption situation, through the fostering situation, the good parts, the bad parts, the parts that didn't make no sense. I done walk the walk. I ain't just sitting up here talking. I know what I'm talking about. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And again, my situation might be a little different because, again, I am the first cousin of my kids' biological mother. So, no, I'm not getting ready to snake my cousin. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to never keep my cousin from her children. That door was open. As long as she don't bring no drama in my house, she could always come in. And her drama, I know how to handle her drama. Okay? Now, that just is what it is. Now, what you actually saw here, and that's why I said they did very good writing here, because they gave you the real of it. They gave you the real of it. Now, will a messy bitch bring drama to you? Absolutely. Absolutely. But guess what? That's one of the things that go along with fostering and adoption. It ain't gonna be no easy road. It ain't all roses and smell goods and cakes and ice cream. There's things you're going to have to go through, and you go through them because you took the job. That's it. You go through them and you make whatever decisions you have to make. All the decisions that you make ain't going to be favorable to people, but that's parenting. That's parenting. And you just got to do it. But to just literally sit around and play a game and try to cut their biologicals out like they don't belong, like they don't exist, I ain't never understood it. I ain't never agreed with it, and I never played into it. Never did. I don't play them kind of games. But anyway, so here's where we talk about the drama. So you see when they said, okay, well, no, the kids said they don't want to be bothered anymore. They don't want no more visitation, this, that, thing, and the other. What did June do? What did June do? June did the very thing, which is kind of why I said that's why the state was telling me, don't even deal. They said they wasn't interested. She showed her little ass up right there to their house, uninvited, unwelcome, felt like she was in all her rights to roll up to their house. And she came in there and she was disrespectful. She was disrespectful. She rolled up in there with them. They're talking to her and they're keeping everything calm and telling her, well, the kids made a decision, respectfully, they don't want to go any further with visitation with you. She's in there. Now you're going to override what their wishes are in their house. June, your ass is wrong. You ain't got no business even being at their house. You had no business showing up at their house, and then you're going to get in their house and you're going to do them. She was wrong. She was wrong. She was absolutely wrong. Talking real loud so the kids can hear. That was wrong. That was wrong. And, it turned out good, but she was wrong. She was wrong. And that little scene right there was everything that they were talking about as far as how the biologicals will come in and they could really bring problems in to your home. And it's going to be a mess. My stance is still what my stance is. I would never make that decision to say no. But that was disrespectful on her part. Very much disrespectful. You don't even know these people. And to be just, to roll up like that. I said, whatever. But they did get to actually have a conversation. She got what she needed. The kids got what they needed. So it actually turned out good, which I was happy about, because they could have really took that writing and went a couple other places with it. You know what I mean? But that was very interesting. Very interesting today. Very interesting. Then the whole thing as she was leaving. Here's my next thing with June. Tyrell actually heard his mother. He heard what she had to say. It changed his perspective of who she is, what she did, and why and how she did it. So that was a very good thing. That was a very good thing. And it softened him up to her. So that was that was really, really good. Samantha got some of the closure that she needed. Samantha's going to always be open to her mother. That just is what that is. I think it did good for her soul because I felt like she was going to lose with the whole, you don't get to see her no more because you went along. She was going to regret that somewhere down the line. She was really, really going to regret that. So I think in that instance, everybody got what it was that they needed. So that was a good thing. But the realism of the disrespect and the insecurity on Smitty and Martin, I think they did a fantastic job with that. And I knew it was good because it was getting on my nerves and making me irritated. So yeah, it was triggering me. So I said, yeah, y'all did a good job with this. The acting wasn't bad or nothing. They did good with that whole thing. They really did. Now, here's my issue. Naomi, you still in it. You and Jacob, y'all still moving the pieces on the chessboard, but y'all playing checkers and carrying on. Now, this could just be me. June, I don't know about June right now. I was looking at June. Some of what June was saying, I was like, Mm-mm. It felt to me like June, she was happy, but the rejection had hit her. The rejection, because it's still at the end of the day, there's rejection there. That rejection hit her. I don't think June's okay. I really don't. And then all this one said, you said you could get me a bed at this, and you did this, that, and the other. I was like, what's she talking about? I don't know. It could just be me, but two things came to mind for me. Either June is going to start cutting up and spinning out of control. She's going to cut up and spin out of control. She's going to keep on interfering. And it's going to end up not being a good thing. It'll be either that, or is June going to hurt herself? Because that's what that real quick switch to, okay, now I want this and I want that, and like I want to help myself to do better now. Would you say she's coming to get her kids back? And Volvo, that will take her down the road, because that ain't never happening. Now that's not happening. That ain't happening. I don't give a damn what she do. She's not going to never be able to get herself together to the point to get her kids back. And here's the thing. They're old. They're old. They literally only got probably 1 year for one of them and 2 years for the other one. And they'll be past the age where she have to try to get them back. They'll be then aged out. So, but she ain't there. But again, he is a congressman. There ain't never going to be enough hours she could pick up at a job to be able to grab her kid back from Martin. It ain't happening. But again, like I said, 1 year for one and probably 2 years for the other one, and they will be aged out and they can go do whatever it is they want to do, how they want to do it. So I don't know, but I got this sense of like, I hope she don't try to hurt herself, because again, she really is not mentally stable. Y'all do remember that, right? Y'all didn't forget that. Did anybody forget? Because her showing up at the house said to me that she wasn't all there. She wasn't all there. And here's the other part. If we actually keep June in the storyline, June and Naomi are going to have some issues, because, did y'all notice that one thing that they never told her? What's up, Tubby? Hey, baby. One thing they never actually told June does not know that Martin is Naomi's first cousin. Remember, she is a homeless woman who her mental health is not 100%. She does not know. One, I don't think she knows that Martin is a congressman, because if you knew he was a congressman, you wouldn't have took your ass up there to his house all willy-nilly, pushing your way into his living room. And two, nobody ever told her that that's Naomi's first cousin. So when she found out that he's her first cousin, June is going to go off. She's going to go off. And everything's going to be Naomi's fault. So I don't know. I don't know how they get ready to play it. It's going to be very interesting to see how that actually works out. But you see how she turned on Naomi real quickly when the first hint of rejection came. She blamed everything on Naomi. If they need some storylines, I could definitely help. Listen, I've been saying since the day they came on, call me. I'll help you out. So I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. Today's episode was good. It was good. Like I said, the whole thing with the adoption, I was triggered. I was all in. Girlfriend over there messing with my mom. I was like, ugh. And that whole thing, and how Karma is actually playing her part against Anita. And I can't even say nothing, Anita. I love my mom, Dupree. I really do. But Karma gets everybody. There's nobody that can outwit karma. When karma's coming for you, and it don't matter who you are. She's going to wrap her hands around you, and that's it. And you admit it out loud with your mouth. You confessed that you was a dirty, dirty, dirty girl, honey. And back in your day, you didn't drop enough tears, honey. You still got to get your get back. So that's that. Anyway, listen. So that was it. That was episode 115. But we're at 40 minutes. I'll give y'all a couple of minutes. Anybody got any questions or something else they want to throw out? Because I know we was talking about a whole lot of stuff and it was kind of deep. Anybody got a question or something they want to throw out before I click this button and I leave here? Is Jacob suspended? Has way too much time. No, remember Renee, his dad put him on a desk job. So he ain't really out there in the field no more. He just out there. He's supposed to be at the desk. He's somewhere running donuts, honey, and doing what he want to do because he is the boss's son. But no, he ain't out in the squad car doing all that. And he on the desk job, so he ain't got to stay that long. 4 o'clock, his ass is off. Who wants Vernon to be the pappy? No, I don't want that. That's too much now. That's woo. Michelle, you messy. You messy. Oh, that would be a hot mess. That would be good though. James, should they recast Ashley or drop her altogether? Not just drop her, take her boyfriend with her. They could roll right on off into the sunset. I know that was rude. I ain't taking it back though. I definitely ain't taking it back. Before I take it back, I'll goddamn add some more to it. Ashley could take and wheel Derek on off into the sunset. We don't need to see neither one of them no more. Tell them, get on out here and shut up, the both of you. I'm sick of them. You say Crooked Dante is the pappy. Oh, Lord. Okay. Where the heck is Mona? I don't know. We ain't got no work for Mona because remember, things got so busy that they really ain't messing with that whole Leslie thing right now. Mona ain't done. They're going to bring our Mona back. I like Mona. Thank you, Latrell. I'd rather have Dante be the father. Dana may have been named after him. Okay. Could be. Are you going to do Ask James segment? At some point, Felita, that's kind of one of them things that I can always jump into. So I didn't have any plans on jumping into it. But that's one of them things I can't never say yes or no because that's just that's a me thing. I'll say I don't know when, but I'm sure there will be more Ask James stuff. That's like it'll probably never go away. That'll never go away. That's part of who I am. So, yeah. But if you have like something that you want to ask, you can always write it in, and push me to do it. That I'm always open to it. I am always open to it. Eva's not Leslie's daughter. I believe she is because she act like her. She really do act like her. Eva's vicious. Eva really is vicious. And she's jealous-hearted. She is. She's jealous-hearted. The actress is terrible. That hasn't improved at all. That Ashley. I can't. Will I do more bingo lives? Possibly, Lord knows. I go to bingo still, so maybe, because those were fun. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Do you think Bill will try to get back with Danny? Bill ain't never stopped with Danny. Like they ain't, it ain't right out front like that. But Bill belongs to Danny. Haley is just something for now. Bill belongs to Danny, and Danny belongs to Bill. That just is what it is. Oh, here you go, Julia. Talk about Blockhead. Oh, Blockhead Tomas. He is horrible. And his sex is trash. Oh, Blockhead. did all that and got up there and can't even put it down in the bedroom. I said, get him out of here. Get him out of here. The poor lady just lost her V card and said, is this it? This what I've been holding on to? That's awful. That is awful. Awful, awful, awful. Bill would be a mess with Leslie. Bill would have Leslie floating in the Hudson because she would try Bill, and Bill would have her disappear. But Bill got enough on his hands with that. Haley is a hot mess. Haley actually is Bill's karma. Trust. She is. Trust. No. Haley ain't going nowhere. Haley going to be something else. You hear me? Haley. Ooh, that Haley. When you see when she pulled in Randy and all that, she got messed. She got her hands in some of everything. The guy that kicked Barbara out of the group is Leslie's father, I think. Could be. Could be. Yes, they will be Victor and Nikki back and forth. Baby, listen. Or Blake and the way that Blake, that Danny and Bill remind me of Blake and Joan Collins. What was her name in the show? Alexis. Blake and Alexis. They play so nasty with each other. They play so nasty with each other. Y'all know I call I call Tomas blockhead. He is a blockhead. He get on my nerves. The adoption scenes were very touching. The writers had me dropping some tears today. Dawn, yeah, they were really, there was a lot of truth in that. That's why I said somebody did their research. There was a whole lot of truth in that. A whole lot. And they compressed it into a small scene. That's like, yeah, there's a whole lot of truth in that. A whole lot. That's going to be a decade's love triangle. Haley, Bill, and Dan. And it definitely would be. It definitely would be. Because I don't think I could let her live. I couldn't let her live. It's like, girl, you got the papers, but I got the man. And I would keep on reminding her. I would keep reminding her if I was Danny. Because I'm petty like that. You walked in there in my house, and he walked out with you. But every time I come around, he be sniffing up behind me. Ain't no way I can let you. I can't be the bigger person because I'm just not big like that. I'm petty. A petty bitch that lives for drama. I would be giving Haley the blues. Every time Danny come around, Haley's face, that's just how she be looking. Every time I came around, I'd be sharp. I'd be walking around, honey, and every time Bill say, what are you doing? I say, just like my girlfriend T.S. Madison, honey, tipping in my heels. Girl, I would be giving Haley the blues. I would. Danny just don't know how to hold it together. But girl, I would be giving Haley the blues. You wanted them? Fine. You got the papers. I got the band though. So you just keep on, little girl. And that's just what she is, still a little girl to Danny. You're a little girl. Youth will only get you so far, dear. Youth and all those lies you tell him. This old bastard, after a while, he's going to turn you in for a younger model anyway. That's just how that goes. That's just how it goes. Naomi just stirs trouble everywhere she goes. Her and her husband, J-Love. Her and Jacob. Jacob and Naomi get on my nerves. They're both busybodies. They both need to sit down and shut up. Do you think Ted and Leslie might get back together? I absolutely, nah. She don't even have a reason at this point. She got money. She got money. She don't even have no use for Ted. Ted is weak. Ted's weak. He is absolutely weak. There's no purpose. She literally has no purpose for him at this point, which is the truth. There is no purpose for Timu Ted anymore. She done busted up his marriage. Nicole hates her guts. So she ain't got to be, she's still a little jealous of Nicole because of the whole Eva thing. So you don't need Ted for that. Ted is just you. And now she got money. She don't need Ted for nothing. He's useless. So Jacob is no longer trying to find out if Leslie ran off Laura. Yeah, they kind of just like dropped it. I think it just got busy, like it just fell to the wayside a little bit. And he started chasing the Joey story. You know, Laura didn't die. If Laura had died, that'd be something different. Laura didn't die. So, yeah, but they'll probably kick it back into high gear when her and Mama get to fight. And I'm telling you. Yes, Naomi keeps bringing home strays and wreck their family. Y'all cold. They're going to sleep together again for sure. You think so? If she do it, it's just because she just be hot that day. And I don't know why, especially after she get her money. Because Leslie fine. Leslie can have anybody she wants, bro. She's just crazy. You know, she's just a little nutty, a little fruity. And she not, you know, she not the lady about town. You can't take her nowhere because nobody like her. But she's a beautiful specimen. She definitely there. She don't have no problem with having no man lay down with her. That's for sure. What about Leslie and Elon? Baby, anybody in Elon. I'm a fan, honey. But Elon is married, y'all. Stop that. That Elon is fine. Yes, indeed. But yeah, Elon can have anybody he wants. But Elon is happily married. Turtleneck Ted is always on Twitter reposting whenever they say something about Timu Ted's acting. Because he's shady. Because they remember people tried to attack him about his acting. And I guess when we be fussing, that's like, watch what you ask for because you just might get it. Who is Jacob's mama? We ain't met her yet. We don't know his wife. Yeah, we ain't met her yet. We ain't met her. Ain't been no purpose. And if I do meet her, I'm going to tell her, could you get your boy and take him the hell on home and y'all go bake some cookies or something? Whew. I volunteer myself for Elon. You know what? And on that note, let me put this right on up there. J Love, my girl. I ain't mad at it, sis. Go on, Queen. Girl, I support it 1,000%. And on that, y'all have a good night. I'm out of here. Y'all see why we such a good group? Just messy from the rooter to the tutor. Y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all in the next episode. Bye, y'all.